May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Please, can you tell us something about what Mental Health Awareness Month is?
Okay, so thank you so much, and I greet everybody who will be listening to us. Mental Health Awareness Month is a month that has been designated to create more awareness into mental health. So currently, Ghana just adapted to the Mental Health Month. Initially, we were only celebrating our mental health on the 12th of October, but globally, some countries like America, UK realized that there is a need for mental health awareness. So therefore, they picked the month of May to create that awareness, and it's solely on mental health, just for people to know that everybody can be affected. Secondly, it knows no bound. And then, however, with that mental health thing, you are able to reduce the stigma associated with mental health. That's how come we even have mental health month.
So, mental health, what is mental health at all? When we say mental health, I mean, I know diabetes is sugar related. I know if you have malaria. So, what is mental health?
So mental health is a state where an individual recognizes his or her abilities and potential, can cope with stresses, can work productively and fruitfully, and then can contribute meaningful to the society. That is a comprehensive definition of mental health by WHO. Other people will also say that mental health is how you adapt and adjust to your psychosocial needs, meaning the way you feel, the way you think, and then the way you act. It's a round definition of mental health.
Psychosocial. If you say psychosocial, I mean, what is
So there are
psychosocial?
two different words. The psych, meaning the way you think, and then the
Okay.
relation, meaning how you relate.
Great.
The way you think affects the way you relate to people. So as we are seated here, if I'm not seeing you well, I will exhibit it through my behavior, and that becomes a psychosocial thing.
Oh, okay. So, in a way, you are saying that mental health is also like having malaria. If you are not relating well in the
Exactly,
society.
exactly. We are created to be relational. So if you are not relating well, if people have challenges with the things you do, if you always complain of what people do, I think it is time to take steps to know your mental health. Because with that, it will help you to relate better.
That brings me to the next important question I want to ask. How will one know that I'm suffering from or I have mental health issues? You just mentioned if yourself, you know, or you see that you are not relating to people well, how will someone else also see the mental health issues in people?
So first of all, just like you can walk into any health facility to check malaria, typhoid, blood pressure, and other things, it is the same way. If you walk into any health facility, they have the mental health screening tool to do that. Secondly, I raised some checklists when I was defining mental health by WHO. So if you realize that one, you are not coping with your stresses well. Two, you are not relating to people well. Three, your mood keeps on changing. Four, you are not contributing anything to your society. Five, if you realize that there is an extreme sadness leading to your inability to sleep well, then you should know that there are cardinal signs alerting you to take a step
Wow.
into your mental health check. Yes.
Then mental health has a lot of let me say issues that we should be looking out for.
Yes.
Because just as you were mentioning, even a common stress. I mean, I say common because we all go through stress.
Yes.
So stress is common. So why will stress or stresses be a factor to my mental health?
So interesting enough, people don't even know what stresses them up. And when it gets to a state of becoming overwhelming, when you are not able to cope with it so well, that is when the mental health issue comes in. Because so far as you are alive, stress is simply inevitable. You can't take it out of the equation. However, I would want to emphasize a little bit on the essence of mental health. I remember one time somebody was talking to me and was asking, how important is mental health? So I just told the person that, well, mental health is very, very important because one, Your overall well being determines your mental health. Your quality of life determines your mental health, and even your functionality. When you wake up in the morning, how you go about your chores, doing other things out, relating with strangers, people you know, is an absolute mental health issue. If you are not aware of that, trust me, you will not live a quality life. Therefore, mental health is very essential.
So, how will you advise a family member? I'm speaking from myself and my side. If a family member is also having challenges, how do I approach this person? Because as you said, sometimes the people themselves they don't even know what they are going through. So how will I approach this person and encourage the person to also go for screening or checkup?
Thank you so much for this question. You know, because of stigma associated with mental health, people don't easily feel free to even talk about mental health. So when you realize that a family member is not doing too well or meeting the cardinal signs and symptoms that I mentioned, approach the person in a friendly way. Approach the person in a non judgmental way. Approach the person in an empathetic way. When I say empathetic, I mean try to put yourself in the shoes of that person so that when you are relating, the person will know that you are a genuine person and not in to question
Criticize.
and criticize their behavior. In that state, yes, it wouldn't come easier. Just imagine I have a mental health challenge and you are showing concern. If you don't approach me well, I'll look at you with another negative eye. So you start a gradual relationship with that
Yeah.
person for the person to know that genuinely you care. And then that is when the opening up thing will come in. The moment the person opens up, please don't hesitate to call in a professional for a professional intervention. I'm saying this because when you look at the stories behind mental illness, it is believed that if it is not witchcraft, it is punishment from God or it's a sin or a curse from somebody. And because of that, our first point of contact is mainly
Church.
the church, which
Yeah.
shouldn't be. Mental health is simply a health issue just like any other physical health. So when you see it like that, just speak to a professional so that you will be guided accordingly.
So aside speaking to the professional, is that all? How do I get the person to go to the hospital? You know, in our society, we have some specific hospitals that the moment you mention, the person will think like, I don't who is my border man, especially when you mention Pantine, since we are around the Pantine area. So, how will I convince such a person to go with me to Pantine, or I'm bringing someone from Pantine to come and check up on you?
So interestingly, like I said, if the person realizes that you are showing genuine concern, we are now integrating primary health into mental health care. So you can access mental health care in any district hospital. You, for instance, you are around Amman here. Dodowa is closer. You can come to Dodowa. We have a community mental health unit, we have a wellness clinic, and we have a psychology clinic as well. When you bring this person, even through the normal OPD, doctors will be able to know through clinical interview that this person needs an intervention of a mental health practitioner. And then we take it up from there. So
That's
there
so
is no
interesting.
need to work the person into Pantine, Accra Psychiatric Hospital, or Anchor Favu. Any district hospital can do this for you.
That's very interesting to
Yeah.
know. And thank you so much. It's a relief because mostly I remember when you talk to people and you just mention, I'm going to do something at Pantine. Someone asked me this question. We're going to have a program at Pantine. And I told the person, oh, I'm on my way to Pantine. The next day she met me, she was like, Nati, look where then or Pantine. Pantine, dear. So it's a relief to know that we can just walk to any of our clinics or hospitals and assess mental health needs or treatments. It's very interesting to know that. So this brings to my last question. So why the awareness this year? Ask me, why should you explain that the WHO and then American decided to bring the awareness? Why is it so important to have this awareness?
So, World Health Organization and other health authorities are realizing that a lot of people are reporting mental illness, but they report and then they hide. They are not comfortable. So the only way to break the barrier, the only way to allow people to feel free is to use the same awareness month to break those barriers so that people can confidently come in. When you look at our 2025 theme like this, it tells you not to just be aware, but take action with whatever information you have on mental health. So you don't just sit and say, okay, so I'm aware of what mental illness is. No, pick a call. Call somebody to show your love. Self-care. Pay attention to yourself. Be kind and good to yourself. So that whatever you have in you, you can easily do what? Pour out to somebody. So that is the main reason for this mental health awareness.
Thank you so much, Madam Gloria Sarkodie Ado, for having us in your home and for educating us on mental health and the need for this awareness month to be celebrated. We hope when we call on you the next time, you will be glad to open your doors to us once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, but I would like to advise the viewers or anybody who gets the opportunity to listen to this coverage. My advice to our listeners is that let's pay attention to our mental health. There is no complete health without mental health. Secondly, we should self care. Self care simply means that paying extra attention to yourself, being good to yourself, being kind to yourself. Every good thing that you think you deserve to be happy, do that to yourself so that you can give the same love to other people. Finally, let's all become advocates of mental health. It can affect anybody. No one is immune to mental illness. So please, let's be advocates. Let's help people to reduce stigma on mental health. Thank you so much. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
this interview. I'm really grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.